Coach Nurse in a second. If you have a question for Coach, feel free to raise your hand.
We're good to go, Rove. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Coach, for joining us this morning or this afternoon.
Thanks, Robin. Nice to be here.
I'm going to start off with Stephen Lung from Sportsnet, who has a question for you.
Hey, Coach. Obviously, we were talking to Fred and Norm about the Jacob Blake situation, and I was just wondering, like yesterday, George Hill kind of said how like it was almost a mistake for the NBA to try to restart the season like down there in Orlando. What are your thoughts on that? Do you have regrets now about restarting the season in light of what has just recently happened?
No, I don't think so, Stephen. Thank you for your question, first of all. I think that it's, again, I would take the same stance that I took coming in here, is that we have a platform here, and I think playing still gives us a chance to use that platform more than not playing does. And I would say that that has not changed for me, and I think that we need to continue to, again, I mean, the issues need to continue to be dealt with and talked about and seriously scrutinized and all this stuff. We need to all do better, and we need to all work together, especially, police reform again, right?
And if I may, just like a quick basketball question, there's no timetable for Kyle, but can you offer an update on what his status might be for Game 1 Thursday?
I mean, he's day to day, Stephen. That's all I can tell you. He did not practice today. Hopefully, I mean, the treatments will go on aggressively and all day, every day until Thursday, and hopefully he'll be ready to go.
Thanks a lot, Coach.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Next, we have Doug Smith from the Toronto Star.
Hey, Nick. Thanks for talking today. You talked long ago about hard conversations and painful conversations. I don't suppose they've gotten any easier in the last 24 hours. How are you managing the group, allowing all these raw emotions to come to the surface?
Well, I think, Doug, that the first thing that I would say is I like to acknowledge that if nobody feels like playing basketball or practicing basketball or talking about basketball or anything, that's okay. You know what I mean? Like you have to understand that the priorities of what matters may be different than basketball for some guys, and I'm certainly willing to take as much time, cancel things that were basketball related, whatever, just to make sure these guys are okay and can give them a platform to speak and give them a platform to share ideas. And you're right, Doug, in your question. It's not very easy here lately again. And it's a damn shame, Doug, is what it is.
Thanks, Nick. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Next, we go to Steve Simmons from the Toronto Sun.
Hi, Nick. In following up what you and Doug were just talking about, how much do you become the leader or the listener in all of this when your group is together and you have a game Thursday and their minds are in another place and there's so much going on? Where are your responsibilities and how do you see them play out?
Yeah, really good question, Steve, because we had a fairly long team gathering this morning. I wouldn't call it a team meeting because it wasn't really basketball related. It was all of us sitting around, and those exact thoughts kind of go through my head about certainly I'm there to listen. But at some point too, I would kind of jump in to kind of formulate some of the ideas and talk about, I don't know, I guess maybe one of the things I shared with them too, it's there's a vision here of what you guys want to accomplish. and that vision needs a plan. You know, and the plan needs some thought put into it and some work and some roles to sign. You know, it's a lot like anything you want to get done in this world. Starts with a vision, then closely followed up with a plan. And those are the type of, I guess, leadership things that I would do to facilitate some of that stuff. But again, it's what they want and what their concerns are and their ideas. And the first part is opening up my ears and my mind and listening to them.
So what kind of challenge is it for you guys, and I presume some of you are doing exactly the kind of thing right now, to be playing?
Sorry, Rovan, Steve's broken up.
Yeah. Steve, can you repeat your question again?
Can you hear me?
I can, yes.
Okay. So I presume the Celtics are going through much the same thing you're going through right now. How challenging is it to play Thursday night?
I mean, I don't know, Steve. It's still such a ways away for me that even like you know, I would say that one of the things that I like to do is not get too geared up for it. It's still Thursday, so it's making it more challenging. But like you said, both teams are going through it. There's a lot of challenges that are different right now, and I think we're kind of getting used to just doing the best we can, man. You know, doing the best we can and figuring out day to day how to do it.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. Appreciate it, man.
I'm going to go next to Eric Corrine from The Athletic.
Hey, Nick. Thanks for taking the time, as always. Just based on what Fred and Norm were saying and how they sounded, I mean, there's a level of frustration and not quite helplessness, but, you know, I guess frustration is just the best word, and powerlessness against. So what, in the discussion today that you were listening and a part of, how have you noticed the tone change from where it was before, and just how have you seen that progress throughout your time here?
Yeah, I mean, I think Eric, it's you're seeing some guys that have put a lot of thought into this, right? There's certainly been a communication process, an education process. You're hearing them speak, and they've got maybe a wider knowledge base than they had, I don't know, several months ago. That's evident. There's a maturity. And you said too, there's a hell of a lot of frustration, right? A hell of a lot that keeps going a little bit deeper as we go here. But I think I wouldn't say there's a, what other word did you use there?
Said powerlessness.
Yeah, I don't think there's that. I think they do feel like they need to be part of the solution, and they do have the power to make change. So I wouldn't agree with you on that word. I would say, yeah, maybe the mountain to climb's even steeper or higher or whatever, to use some type of analogy here. But I sense more determination in their voices as well.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just today and yesterday, I'm sure, seemed like, you know, they're coming to terms with the first steps aren't nearly enough. So that's where you get that sense of frustration, and they know it will take more, I guess.
Hey, Eric, man, you're first of all, you're 100% right on the frustration part, and you and I and everybody can have a discussion on how else things are going, and you know what I mean, with relative comfort that we're all hopefully trying to do better, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, appreciate it, Nick. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you.
And final question is going to go to Michael Grange from Sportsnet.
Hey, Nick. You've been through a lot of things in your career. presume there's no guidelines for what you're going through at a moment like this. So you've got players who are clearly, traumatized is almost the word I would use. And then we ask them, or they raise this possibility of even boycotting games. What is your guideline here? Is there anyone you're leaning on to kind of figure out how to navigate this? Because you obviously have a range of responsibilities.
Really, really good question, Michael. I think that it comes down to, what's in your heart, man. I'm not up there reading books on how to. There's not a manual here. There's not, on how to get through this kind of crap. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting out of bed every day trying to, first of all, make myself a better person and make those around me better people, and doing everything I can in a positive, energetic, loving, caring, listening way. That's the playbook.
I appreciate that, and I recognize the shirt too.
Yeah. Thanks, Michael.
Thank you, Coach. That's all the questions that we have.